Do you ever experience occasional sleepless nights or sometimes have a difficult time falling asleep? My name is Kayla, and I'd love to recommend one of March and Ash's most popular gummies, Camino Midnight Blueberry. It has 5 milligrams of THC and 1 milligram of CBN to help promote a restful night, and you just take one before going to bed. Take it from me, I microdose with cannabis almost every night, and this formula is very relaxing for me. The secret is lavender and chamomile extracts, plus that 1 milligram of CBN. Even though it is a small amount of CBN, that's all it takes to experience the potential therapeutic benefits of this edible. To learn more about Camino Midnight Blueberry, speak with one of your March and Ash concierges or visit us online at marchandash.com. Until then, sweet dreams.
The information presented in this podcast is not intended to provide medical or legal advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Before using cannabis or making any changes to your treatment, consult a qualified healthcare provider. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of OLAS Media or its sponsors.
OLAS Media. March and Ash presents Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford. From the hottest up-and-coming comedians to legends of the game, enrolled with some of the world's finest cannabis brands. This is Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Walter Ford, and this is the Hilariously Blunt podcast, sponsored by March and Ash. Appreciate you guys checking in with us again. You know, this is the best combination of cannabis and comedy you can find anywhere. And this is a real special episode, y'all. When I tell you I got one of the most beast, one and only. When I tell you you've seen her open up for Dave Chappelle, you've seen her on Comedy Central. When I tell you nationally touring comedian, opening for Patton Oswalt and D. Ray Davis. The one, the only, one of my favorites, the Pink Foxx. Appreciate you for coming in with here, Pink. Man, I love you, G. Man, I'm so glad you're here right now.
I come down from my buddy.
Taking that talk
You
up.
gotta support your friends.
No, definitely.
So this
definitely.
is I love you very much and thank you.
Vice versa.
All right, we ready to start filming again?
I think we've been filming. Shout out to March and Ash, by the way. Appreciate them giving us a sponsorship. We got a couple little products that has been putting me on Cloud 9 and Pluto.
What do we have on the table?
First off, I'm gonna shout out West Coast Cure because I think you know a little bit about that.
Yeah, shout out to West Coast Cure. They're everywhere, but specifically shout out to my boy Bobby G. That's my guy because they hook me up with care packages and things all the time. So shout out West Coast Cure. I love you guys.
Yeah, Beast. I really appreciate all of y'all products, and really y'all been helping me with my anxiety because this vegan friendly, by the way. I'm not a vegan, but vegan friendly. This watermelon hybrid solventless gummies that they've been having. When I tell you, they've been putting my anxiety where it needs to be. They gave us this Obama Runs. When I tell y'all, this is where you want to go. Also, Farming the Felon, they also do a lot of good work in the community as well. So shout out to them. They actually have a charity where they help incarcerated people who are incarcerated for cannabis, So people that were incarcerated for cannabis, they actually have a charity for them.
That's what's up. Listen, Obama Runs is cool, but I'm waiting on that Michelle OG.
I was going to say
we need that Michelle OG.
Nah, we need that Kamala Kush.
Listen, we need that. No, but listen, but you got Obama. I need a Michelle strain.
Yeah,
I need
I
a
feel
Michelle
that.
Obama, sour diesel. We need that.
I know,
The
and
streets are asking for it.
Roll it up in the presidential.
Exactly. I would only put Obama in a gold shine wrap.
Yes. Shout out to Shine
Shine
too.
Papers.
Shout out to Shine Papers.
Y'all carry shine papers here?
We don't. No, we
Y'all
don't. I
should,
think
man.
So. We
This
just
is
got raw.
great. 24 karat gold wraps.
Yeah, you put me on to that. I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of.
You gotta smoke classy, man. You gotta,
I was kind of like aback by it. I was like, "This is gold right now. We can't sell this." Nigga, we ain't.
Yeah, man.
Got the job done. Last but not least, though,
West Coast Cure again.
West Coast Cure again. One more time. Rainbow Sherbet pre-rolls. When I tell you, they got some of the best pre-rolls I've seen in a long time.
Let me ask you a question, nigga.
Talk
Who
to me.
picked Rainbow? Was that supposed to be funny?
No, but that is hilarious because I didn't even think about it.
Nigga always make a joke.
I didn't even think about that.
Rainbow weed smoking motherfucker. Here go. Fuck this. Hey, man. Every time I'm on some shit, it's always rainbow. Niggas always got to come with the rainbow shit. What you trying to say, motherfucker?
Hey, we are allies.
Okay, good. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm rainbow and sherbet, baby. I'm gay and sweet. Give a fuck. You know what I mean? You know how.
Shout out to West Coast Cure always.
Of course,
baby.
all day.
Last but not least, Care by Design. We got the Focus. So this is more of like on the wellness standpoint, health. 5 milligrams of CBD, 1 milligram of THC. So I love these because, like I told you, I got an anxiety disorder. This helped me kind of get my mind right.
Mama.
Yeah, these the go-tos, especially because it's full spectrum, gluten free, no high fructose corn syrup, and it's plant based. So it's like got all the health things. They checking off all the boxes.
My mother would love this. This is good. It's 1 milligram of THC. I can't do shit with 1 milligram.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't gonna get you high,
like
but
a
it
morning,
definitely get you comfortable.
Yeah, this is a nice morning situation.
Yeah, definitely get you comfortable.
That's why it looks like a tea bag. I like it. Okay, cool. That's
shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. So, how long have you been smoking cannabis? If you actually, if you do indulge, excuse me, if you do,
I smoke. So I do smoke. I smoke, but I'm not a crazy stoner.
Yeah.
I do have a good amount of product, because of Bobby G and because of like the smoke shops that sponsor me and the good people of Los Angeles always make sure that I have an abundance of smokable and edible marijuana.
I need to go become friends with Bobby G then.
Bobby G. I'll hook you up with Bobby G. That's the man right there. You got to know Bobby G.
I'm with it.
Basically, I probably started smoking. I smoked my first joint in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I hit it, and it was a Jay-Z thing. I hit it, and I got nothing.
I was just going to say that. Was it the thing where you didn't know how to smoke?
Yeah, I smoked it. I held it in like they told me. And it didn't do anything. I was not high at all. And then it took like 3 or 4 times.
I was literally about to say that. Probably my 5th time, and my cousin had to punch me in the chest. He's like, you going to smoke this?
Oh, see, that's
and then I smoked.
Yeah, that's
some hood shit.
That's trauma.
That's some hood shit. Oh, it's definitely traumatic.
We gonna hook you up. We gonna get you a nice therapist.
My therapist heard that.
And you've been working for weed companies ever since.
No, right?
That's so funny.
You don't even know. Beat my ass to success.
Damn, you was Joe Jackson.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I'm from Gary, so he Joe Jackson my shit.
Oh no, nigga, that's crazy. They beat niggas' asses for anything.
Come on. Speaking of, I'm from Gary. Where are you from? Let them know.
I am from Camden, New Jersey. Born in Camden, New Jersey. It's a bit of a story. Born in Camden, New Jersey. I moved to California when I was 9 years old.
So you was born with a gun.
That's hilarious. Well, my dad is a gangster. We talk about that shit on stage, but my dad's tried to. My family, like, my dad's really good about this shit though. Like, they bought me a lot of toy guns as a kid, and my dad would always be like, "Don't have these toy guns around my kid." Like, he hated that shit
because he knew what it was.
Yeah, because he didn't want me to go down the. But then I shot my first gun, and my aim was crazy, like accurate. So I was like, I thought I was Deadpool, nigga. It was wild. I was like, oh shit. So
it's hereditary. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh nigga. So smoked my first joint in high school. I was probably 17.
In LA or in California?
No. So listen. So I lived in Northern California from 9 to 14. So I'm actually from Jersey, and I'm from like the Bay.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm
like both.
Yeah, I'm the Fresh Princess. So this shit is like it's the real deal. I'm really from both coasts. I moved back to New Jersey when I was 14, and then I lived there until college.
Yeah.
And then after college, I moved around a bit, but yeah, man.
Were you a performer back in the day?
So
did you always do comedy, or did you?
Okay, so my mother is a singer, and she was a singer when I was a kid.
Oh, it's in the blood.
She was in the industry, yeah. And so then my uncle, before her even, my dad's brother is one of the coasters.
Oh,
yeah. So Yakety Yak and Yakety Yak and down in Mexicali and all those records. So his son was my favorite cousin growing up. And when my dad was in prison, that was the uncle that used to take us to everything, like wrestling matches and shit.
Yep.
I've seen The Undertaker wrestle in purple gloves. I've seen like a lot of really classic matches. A lot of people don't know this. I don't talk about wrestling too much.
That's crazy.
But I was a big fan as a kid.
Me too.
But yeah, so with that being said,
not as much as when I learned it was fake. No,
That's hilarious.
I did.
It's still athletic though,
No,
just
it
because
is.
you know.
It's a soap opera with
Brock
wrestling
Lesnar
dudes.
could whoop anybody's ass
No, in real life.
in play or for real. I don't give a shit. I'm not fucking his. I would never slide up on.
Too, though. He like a 7 foot tall
Yeah.
biker. You
And
know what I'm saying?
Stone
in real life.
Cold. Stone Cold would beat your
Yeah,
ass.
now Stone Cold look like he'll definitely
Yeah.
fuck your moms and then keep it pushing.
That's hilarious. I don't know about that. I don't know if
No,
Stone
Stone
Cold.
Cold look like
He would
gangster.
drink all the beer in your fridge though, for sure.
He like a gangster.
So let me finish. So, because this story is like I'm trying to make it concise. Bottom line, my mom had me in the industry really young. I auditioned for my first movie at 7.
What?
Yeah, Oprah's Beloved, actually.
That's wild. How did that feel? Or did you
Man,
did you
it
know
was
what was
crazy.
going on? I mean,
Actually, no, I was younger than that. I think I was 6. It felt like I was tired, nigga, because I was in line, like, and Phil was an open call.
Oh, okay.
Way back in the day, right? So like before Instagram, before like
Social medias.
So we were standing in line to be seen by the casting directors because it was just an open call in Philly.
Okay, yeah.
And we were in line for like 4 or 5 hours, man. It was fucking wild. I was at the back of the line. That shit was crazy. So the camera loved me. Because when I got in there, I was doing a bunch of like, you know, I was being a silly ass kid. I appreciate that. But you know, I didn't get the part or whatever. But from there, I think my mom just kind of realized like, oh, this is where my kid wants to be.
Yeah. You
So
had that bug.
I had that bug. So
Yeah.
I went to acting school in San Francisco. I went to Kids on Camera. I went to the same acting school as Andy from Toy Story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then I modeled as a kid. I did a lot of modeling and like photo and print and stuff. So
How did that? I don't want to say feel, but when you were doing it as a youth, you know, and just being in the entertainment business, or like just being around and doing, you know, stuff like that, which is how did that? Did you realize that you were? Did it seem like work? I guess is kind of what I'm asking. Did it seem like work, or did it just seem like, oh, this is what I'm doing because it's Tuesday and this is like
no, I was an artsy kid, but you know, being raised Jehovah's Witness, you have like a regiment. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah. I was raised Jehovah's Witness. I'm not one, but I was raised one.
Yeah,
And
of course,
but,
yeah.
but when you are raised one, you're raised with like, you know, there's a meeting like 3 times a week, and so
I got a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses.
everything has to be super regimented.
Yeah.
So I knew that, like, you know, I guess it was like Thursdays or whatever, but I knew that was the day that I had class.
Did y'all go to the doors?
Yeah,
Did you have this door slammed in your face and everything?
I've had doors slammed in my face. I've gone to field service. I've gone door to door.
Nah,
I've given a talk.
you
I
can see
gave
I
a
don't know
talk.
what it is, yeah.
No, it's all good. I've given a talk, which is when you stand up to the podium and you talk. And I remember my first talk was about, are your prayers heartfelt? That's right.
How old was you?
Oh man, I might have been. Gee, I was 9.
Oh, you a kid. I'm
Yeah.
thinking like you older
No,
when you
no,
said
I
you
was a kid in a
kid?
tiny little suit, man. I was up there.
Dang, Jehovah's Witnesses, they be
Are
giving
your
y'all some
prayers
pressure.
heartfelt?
He was
Let
a-
me, you know, are you talking to Jehovah in a way that you could? I was up there, man. I had the lightest voice and shit. They were like, oh, it's so sweet. Yeah, but yeah, it was cool. I think that your reading comprehension and your ability to speak in front of an audience is like up there when you start really young, you know,
Exactly.
because it
No,
was
100%.
packed. It was like probably 100 people in the fucking audience.
I was gonna say that, like you like got it out the way, got the you
The
know,
jitters,
like,
yeah.
got the jitters out the way.
I
at
still
a young
though,
age.
like even when I did music though, like I'd hold the mic and my hands would shake.
When did you do
know.
music?
I had 2 songs on radio in high school, so I started recording music when we went back to the East Coast. Around 14 is when I got in the studio
So you
with
did
like
everything before comedy.
producers.
You did all.
Yeah. But people always took me seriously. I don't know what it was about like real adult producers were taking me in the studio to cut records and shit. And I used to do these things called reference vocals for a lot of songs. So like if you're a producer team and you're trying to sell to like Chris Brown or Trey Songz or some shit, you get somebody who has
a good voice. Or
yeah,
like close.
voice,
Yeah.
and then you take them in the studio, you cut the song, like singer-songwriter or songwriter-producer duos will sell a whole package like that.
Exactly.
And I was the voice on a lot of the shit that they sent to them.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know if they placed any of it ever. I'm not sure, but
still, just being in that environment, I
Yeah.
feel like being in because I mean, shit, you from Camden, you know, I'm from Gary. Like outside of, like you had the resources of your family being creative.
yeah,
Outside of, you know, where we live at, that's not the norm, is what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, so getting that creative juice flowing early,
right.
you know, do you feel like that's paying off now? And we everybody don't even know kind of what you're doing now, but do you feel like that paid off?
You know, we can get into it, but
Yeah.
I honestly, entertainment as a whole, it's so fulfilling, and
I feel the same way.
you know, in being different and being we didn't even discuss this. I mean, for those who don't know, I'm transgender. That's right. Don't turn off the video yet, nigga. Just keep
Don't
listening.
pause, nigga.
Right?
Don't
Yeah.
pause,
Don't be like, oh, fuck this bitch. Click. No, hold on. Wait. No, but you know, growing up trans, it's a whole thing. So I was very artistic as a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
And so when I wanted, you know, I came out really young and shit, but like my mom never really hesitated to take me to go get my nails done. And she taught,
So
like,
she was real
she did my
supportive.
makeup
Like,
when
she
I
was
was
supportive
little.
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like for modeling and shit, they
That's
would do
dope.
like pancake and shit. But I had like a little extra blush on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So I was always just like super pretty. I was about being pretty all the time. Like, I'm so pretty. So that was, you know, I knew that in the arts I was able to be delicate
Yourself.
and feminine, and
You was able to be yourself.
Right. So it's kind of like
Unabashed.
I found exactly.
Cut you off.
No, it's a great word actually.
Yeah.
So I found solace and comfort and safety in artistic stuff.
Which is fire.
You know, until I didn't. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
because you know when you turn like. When you're in your early shit and you're like 16 and they're like, let's make you the next Chris Brown, let's make you a heartthrob and shit. But you can't be feminine at all. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's kind of like how people felt when they learned Frank Ocean was gay. Like everybody was like, yo, or at least the black community,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
culture. You know what I'm saying? We
yeah.
was like, yeah, Frank Ocean. That. And then he made that tweet like, this is all talking about dudes or something. No, that was not Lil Nas. My bad. But when people learned he was gay, people like automatically was like, I'm turning this off instead of
Or the black,
not loving the music.
The black community, we have a beautiful LGBT community within the black community.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm multiracial and
Yep.
but you know, I love all of them. And as a person of color who also identifies as trans and a lesbian,
You got a
you
lot
know,
of boxes, yep.
it's important to highlight these things and to say that it is such a beautiful culture. And you know, Marsha P, who started this whole thing, was from Jersey.
That's crazy.
That's
when you say
right.
started this whole thing, what do you mean exactly?
Through that brick and Stonewall, son.
Oh, okay. She was the first one. You're like, I'm running through this bitch.
Yeah, straight
Kicking
up.
the door down.
Yeah,
exactly.
toss that bad boy. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So, it's like, you know, the unfortunate reality about our community is we're kind of like so indoctrinated in religious teachings, right? And like Christianity.
I
and
wouldn't
things.
even say it's religious. I just say it's traditional. Cause I mean, it is religious too. Cause I mean, we're all Christian, you know, but like niggas ain't really, you know what I'm saying? We ain't,
Bro, listen.
we ain't following the Bible all like that.
No, I hear what you're saying, but
you're right though. It is
but
based
hear
out
me
of
out.
the Christianity though.
Back in slave times,
Yeah.
and you know this. You
Yeah,
know I'm
yeah.
versed in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because my family was involved with the Underground Railroad and all this stuff, and we can get into that if you want to. But
Yeah, I didn't know none of that either.
yeah.
No.
William Grant Still, the godfather of the Underground Railroad, is a relative. My family are the Still family. We founded Lawnside, New Jersey. My great grandmother, had a double wall for the bread for the slaves on the Underground Railroad coming through New Jersey. So
That's fire.
we have books and DVDs and all that shit. First black doctors. all
Hand
that
clap real quick. We gotta give it up for the ancestors. One time for doing that.
for
That's
sure.
really
Yeah,
dope.
and Black History Month.
Appreciate
Yes,
y'all.
for
Black
sure.
History Month. Yes,
We love you.
That's
and
really
thank you.
dope. By the way, I didn't
Yeah.
know none of that.
Yeah, and William Still and William Grant Still, who was a black composer with classical music and things, and like back in Duke Ellington times.
See,
I
I
think.
love that.
It's crazy, like historically. But anyway,
Yeah.
I said that to say, the Bible was used as a tool to help enslaved people stay enslaved.
Exactly.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no,
And so
100%.
a lot of those things have been indoctrinated into our families generations ago.
Oh yeah.
And even though
Yeah.
you might not read the Bible, whatever the principles you've been,
That's what I meant by tradition. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even
But
yeah.
it comes from Christianity.
Exactly. It comes
for
from
sure.
Christianity.
Right.
Yeah. It's just not on the front of our brain like
Right.
this is I'm doing this because I'm a Christian.
Yeah. I fuck hoes, but faggots ain't cool. You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's like,
Yeah,
nigga,
not
what
like a
you gotta pick
it's a
one.
trade-off.
Yeah. Are you sinning or not? You know what I mean? What are you doing?
Exactly.
So I think that's the that, and then also like, you know, I've heard I love my trans community, but you know, unfortunately there are times when like you get into conversations with like white trans women, and they'll have like feelings about how black men treat black trans women and the high number of like homicides and things, and you know, our transgender day of remembrance that we have every day, that list is always dumb long. And it's, you know, unfortunately it's usually when it's urban, you know, the perpetrators are localized, so it sucks. But you know, I always say,
Yeah, and real
back
quick,
in-
not to cut you off, a lot of people kill people by proximity.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think that a lot of people don't realize that.
That's what I'm saying.
So
It's proximity for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, here's my thing. It's a masculinity thing, you know? Like, dudes will be fully attracted to some trans women.
It's a man's world. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like, my bad for cutting you off, but yeah.
Some dudes will sit at home and be like, I would never in my life. But then when you get lonely,
Niggas
like,
get drunk.
Yeah, you be like, I don't know. This nigga look kind of good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like the wrong Obama runt pull had you out here. No, I'm just bullshit. I'm kidding. No,
Nigga be like, you know what? I am on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, be like, I'm gonna go ahead and let her. I heard that it was crazy over it.
Run it and try it out.
Niggas will hear. Niggas will be. That's the one thing. Oh yeah, I heard she got the. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna let it happen. You know, fuck it. If she don't tell nobody, I'm with it. Y'all niggas are renowned. Niggas are renowned for that.
That's from history.
Yeah.
From the history.
But then your man find out and now you want to kill somebody. That's bullshit, nigga. You was out there getting your man, you know what I mean? You was getting chewed up and now you trying to, you know.
And now you a mass murderer because you expressed yourself.
You mad now. Yeah. So what the fuck? But anyway, I digress. I try to sidestep that whole shit. But it's like, it's I think it really does boil back down to slave times and
100%.
Really, you know, the black man being emasculated for years, man. You know, you're able to imagine being property and then also trying to have like a family and shit. Niggas was taking wives when they wasn't supposed to. They was having kids and shit. So it's like they'll split you up. Yeah. But like, you know, times when you weren't split up. Just imagine that shit, man. Imagine like Master walking in and just doing whatever he wants to do to you.
You with me.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
And you can't do that or you die.
We don't discuss all the rape that happened in slave times.
Man.
We don't discuss the pedophilia either, but
come on now.
I'm not the one.
Yeah.
Let someone else that's more versed in that talk about it.
They got some research.
Yeah, but I know for a fact there had to be some gay slave owners that were definitely fucking with
definitely, yeah.
There had to be.
It's a thing, man. They talk about that, how that's not talked about.
Yeah.
How, is the right word being sodomized? Like being sodomized, you know what I'm saying? And they just was like...
All of that shit. I mean, in Django, it was kind of touched on a little bit. When he touched his balls when he was hanging upside down, he was like, I'm in charge of cutting your bits off. And the nigga was like, whoa.
This is extra. Yeah,
we always like, but then we villainize homosexuality and we villainize being transgender and shit like that. And it's like, you gotta, you know, most people that have all these issues don't know one. And that's the thing too. We live on the West Coast. The percentage of people that actually know a trans person is really small. Like in middle America.
And I'm from the hood. Yeah, exactly. I'm a nigga from Gary from the hood.
Right.
Same situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, not to cut you off, but just coming from the other perspective, like you said, it's about just awareness or just being around. Like everybody, the most dangerous place to live is in somebody's imagination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, everybody runs a script in their head, you know. And yeah. So real quick, I don't want to pivot too fast, but we ain't got that much time. When did you start doing stand-up? You know what I'm saying? And my bad for pivoting. Did you want to end on my bad?
No,
I know
no. We can touch on all the stuff.
Yeah, because I want to get on stand-up before we get out of here, because that's the main thing.
Well, I mean, we got a minute before we get out of here, huh, nigga? Well, how long we been in here?
Yeah, no, we've been here for a little while. We're here for a little while.
Yeah, 10 minutes? What the fuck? That's not talking about trash. Here go Walter. All right, I hate to pivot. We going on.
No.
I'm bullshit. That's my man.
Well, I want to, you know.
No, let's talk about the stand-up.
Intersect that too, though. You know what I'm saying?
It goes back to doing music. I was doing music, and I felt as though a long time ago, like back when I was in college, I just didn't feel like anybody wanted to hear a transgender R&B singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like that thing that I sharpened my tool for years, and now I'm not even able to use it.
Now
I'm being my most authentic self, because there were times when I tried to express myself clothing-wise and shit, and I've been called like a faggot before, and niggas called me a dandy.
All the
Some
words.
of my producers were like, you're going to be known as a dandy. And I was like, what's that? I'm like 15, 16. They're like, well, that's one of those people that they're always trying to figure out, are they gay? And I'm like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be someone that's getting questioned all the time about my sexuality. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make music, bro.
Yeah.
So,
they add an asterisk to your shit.
Yeah, but
you got
they made it lame. Like when you're like an adolescent trying to do music, and they're trying to put your own shit out too. They're trying to package you as a product. So it's things you can and cannot do.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like you can't dress certain ways. You can't this. You can't. That's not marketable.
At least at the time. Yeah,
every time I tried to express myself in the ways that felt natural to me, I was always told by someone that it's not marketable. And that shit really did something to me as a kid, because it's like, why do I Can I just live? Why do why does
Exactly.
everything have to be marketable?
Exactly. Or you got to fit into a box.
Right,
That
yeah.
somebody else made, some that don't even fucking know you. You know?
It's crazy. They wasn't even using religion against me. It was just like, that's not marketable.
Yeah.
You want to be a pop star, you can't fucking. So I'm like, you know what? This is cool. So I got to an age where I said, fuck it. You know, and I went medical, which just means I got on like hormones and shit. And kind of like around that time is when I started to dabble with stand up to just as a form of therapy. And I didn't even start on purpose. I was living in Atlanta, and I ran across a stand up comedian.
Mecca of black people. Real quick.
Yeah, the Black Mecca. If you ever want to,
Yeah, hood Mecca. Right?
Yeah,
Nigga Mecca.
Yeah, it's great down there. It's lovely. The new chocolate city.
Yeah, come on.
I was just out there, and I ran across a comedian, and I'm like, oh, what do you do? He was like, yeah, well, I do stand up, this, that, and the third. And this is like kind of before transition medically, right? So I'm presenting kind of ambiguous or whatever. He was like, yo, you should come down to the spot and come see me, right? This is Urban Grind on Marietta Street. This is the first place I ever did stand up. So I go down there. And
I love this story. That was my next question. So.
for sure.
Yeah.
And dude had me on the list, like to go up.
Oh, he just signed you up. You ain't
Yeah,
even,
and I just was there to see him and to get some coffee. You know what I mean? Like I was
I'm
chilling.
pulling up. Yeah.
Coffee shop grind. So I'm like, all right, well, I never turned down a mic, and I didn't even know comedians had open mics because I'm from the music world. Our open mics are different.
It's different. Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah, it's totally different.
So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just do it. Fuck it. And I'm in my head. I'm like, what story? So I got up. I told a story from my childhood. I roasted one of the dudes because it was an old black dude in one of them swish pants jogging suits, and I was like, "You look like the coach that fucks all the single moms." I roasted the shit out this thing, and you know, people laughed and they thought it was funny. At the end of my set, I said, "Thank you very much. That was my first time doing stand up comedy. I appreciate y'all." Yada yada. So the host came over to me at the end of the show. Was like, "That was your first time for real?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yo, you should pursue this. Like, you're funny.
You got it.
You got it. You got what you have. Whatever it is, nigga." And I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." So, I listened.
That was the first time.
I listened to him.
Yeah.
And then I just started going to some open mics, and I kind of put it on the back burner. And I moved to the West Coast for better access to medicine and shit. And I just kind of started doing it for therapy.
Real quick, around what age is this?
Oh,
Not
nigga,
saying you got to say your
looking at
exact
ages,
age.
bro? What are you doing?
I mean, not saying you got your exact age, but the reason I asked is because
It's my early 20s.
Yeah, and that's what the reason I asked is because a lot of people feel like if you don't start,
But I'm a lady, Walter.
at
I'm a lady.
right.
Asking me my age.
That's why I said you're gonna say your age right now. I'm talking about the age when you
people
move.
know how.
This is when you-
The people know how long I've been in comedy. We're not doing no math.
Yeah, we ain't gotta do the math. But what I was gonna say was the reason I asked is because a lot of people feel like they start at a incorrect age, or you're too old, or too young, or too whatever. So that's all I was gonna say. But the reason I said that is the reason I wanted to preface with that is because when did you feel like you got it? Like, I know the person told you got it, but when did you?
Oh, this is a great story. We're going to get into this right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I. That's
When
what
did I feel like I was good?
Exactly. Because you said you hit some mics and you moved to the West Coast.
Okay, I was at a mic in LA.
Yeah.
I had been told, well, I'm a big comedy fan and I've been a comedy nerd my whole life. So I didn't know like the steps. I just knew my favorite comedians, and I've been watching stand up since, I'm from the 90s. We're from the 90s.
Exactly.
That's the Def Jam era.
We got Raw in the background.
Yeah, we got. I mean, but we grew up with like Comic View.
Oh yeah, Comic View.
And we grew up with Def Jam in that same like little area. So like, I mean, it was just nothing but stand up comedians.
Yeah, Comic View was the go-to every night.
Right, and I've met like all my heroes except Eddie Murphy. I've probably met all my heroes.
That's dope.
Which is crazy because it's like, damn, man,
That's really dope.
When I met Adele Gibbons, that's probably like really.
I was going. Did any one of them have you stuck?
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy had you stuck? You met Charlie Murphy?
I met Charlie Murphy before I was a comedian. My
dope.
mom bought me tickets for my birthday to go see Charlie Murphy in Cheltenham, Pennsylvania, when he was touring with Freeze Love. I went. We watched the show. We had great seats, and at the end of the show, they were out taking photos in the lobby. It was the end of the night. Charlie looked like he was ready to go back to the hotel. And I got that last photo. So I walked up to him. I said, Charlie, can I have a photo? Like, I'm a real big fan and shit. And he looked at my mother's. My mother's attractive or whatever. And go, that's your mom right there? Yeah, we could take the picture. So I was like, all right, cool.
Charlie,
yeah, man. Rest in peace,
legend,
man.
RP to the legend.
So that was dope, man. That was really cool and shit. And you know, that was probably that one that really made me.
Yeah,
feel, you know, this was like after Chappelle show.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Was that pre or that was?
Yeah, this
Chappelle?
was like probably like right after Chappelle.
Yeah.
I think he went tournament.
He
It
was
was
hot,
like
yeah.
in the midst of like at the end.
That's
but,
so fire.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So
That's so fire. I haven't had my moment yet. I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't had my moment. I've met a couple people that's in certain positions, but I haven't had the moment where I'm like, this nigga right here. You know?
oh
what I'm saying?
man, I mean, I get like
had
that.
moment.
I got like that with Chappelle too.
Okay, okay.
I
You
got
met
like that with
Dave.
Chappelle.
You met the
well,
goat.
I'm friends with Dave.
Ah,
So that's
okay.
like, you know, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Jeff Ross. I knew about Jeff Ross
Ross
doing
is
roast
cool,
for
too.
years.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah,
I
exactly,
met Jeff
yeah.
for the first time, it just was like, man, and it was organic because I found out he was from Jersey. And
I
I'm
didn't know
like,
he was from Jersey. I
Yeah,
ain't
he's
gonna
from
lie to you.
Jersey. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Shout out Jeff, by the way.
Yeah,
He,
Jeff Ross. He's
He
amazing.
took me and Billy to the side after our roast and was like, "Hey y'all, y'all got it. You just gotta do this, and
Yeah,
that."
you
know,
roasted
he-
up at the Comedy Store in L.A.
Yeah, in L.A. Yeah, roasting in L.A. I'm 3-2 right now.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm 3-2 right now.
I'm like 0-2. Yeah,
Wouldn't
I
have
suck. I'm not
lost
good
in
at
the
roasting.
hell with your shit.
Yeah, I almost won the first one. I like to maintain that I won that one, but I fucked up a word.
I feel me too. I was gonna say that. I feel like my last one, I should be 4-1 because the dude I went against, they couldn't even understand what he was saying.
All right,
My last joke should have been my first joke, and my first joke should have been my last one.
now you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's
But also roasting is such a specific art form. It's not for everyone.
It's a skill. It's
you
a
know,
skill. It's
I think
it's
that
a tool.
I think I'm a little more impactful
Yeah.
with a mic by myself on stage
Yeah.
talking to the audience. You know what I mean? Like
It's a different, like I said,
Yeah.
it's a different muscle. Like
yeah.
it's its own
I mean, and they
skill.
say like it's writing, but I think it's a little more than that. Because,
Yeah.
And also, you know, being urban, man, and coming from like Philly and Jersey and Gary, like we know the dozens, right?
It's
So, like,
different. We
when
do that. You have to do that to survive.
Right. Yeah.
They're doing it for fun.
Oh man, listen. When I was a kid, bro, my my dad was in prison, right? So my mom used to drop me off at the barbershop to get all my man shit. And I'd be there all day in Philly. And I was the one sweeping up hair and running to the store.
Oh, they had you was the worker. You was in there.
Yeah, I was the kid.
You was the
that
kid in the shop.
Yeah, so but they would roast me all the time.
Of course.
My mom's attractive and this shit,
of
you
course.
know,
Yeah, that's
come
part of
over
the
here,
game.
little nigga, you know, yada yada yada, and they roast each other. So I think when you're dealing with that shit, you have to get sharp. Like you're like, okay, I need to be able to defend myself.
Yeah,
right.
oh, you done.
And then going to hella different schools. I went to hella different schools.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I went to 2 schools. Well, I went to one school, then went back to another school, then transferred back to the first school.
Bro, I might have went to
left.
10 schools growing up, man.
That's
I can't even remember them
crazy.
all, bro. But I know what it's like to have to move and get popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like move and figure
Start
out
over.
like, okay,
Find your place.
what's the food chain in here? Because I can't end up at the bottom. So if I end up at the bottom, this is gonna be hell every day. So let me get in good with this person, or like, who's this over here? Like, I was one of those. I was really trying to figure out the ecosystem shit. I think it stayed with me as an adult, honestly.
That makes sense.
But like ecosystems, man, in every industry, in every instance, you got to look at it like that. Like, okay, this is over here.
Do you feel like that's kind of helping you nowadays? That having that
100%.
prerequisites, you know what I'm saying?
because-
Because you said you're in a circle with Dave, you're in a circle with Jeff Ross, and when I say circle, like these people are in your atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel like it kind of helps you navigate.
I'm fortunate enough to be around a bunch of guys, and I consider like a few people my big brother, and Jeff is definitely one of those people. And I call Chappelle my big brother. I definitely feel like, you know, from someone like me who like when I was a kid, I worked at FYE, but before I worked at FYE, which is like this watered down ass Best Buy.
It wasn't even Best Buy. That was like
it was bullshit ass.
that was like the bougie CD store,
No,
but
it
nobody
wasn't
went
bougie.
there.
It wasn't bougie. It was trash. Where I was from, it was
Oh, okay.
garbage.
Oh, okay,
But we used to steal out of there.
Where I was from, nobody went in there, so that's all I knew.
Yeah, but they had like, this is like the original like GameStop.
Yeah, that's
type,
what I'm
you know
saying.
what I mean?
Yeah, like
So I used to go in there, man. I stole fucking like 4 seasons of the Boondocks and like a Chappelle Show DVD. No, I've never told anybody this song.
that's funny. Yeah,
And-
they gonna come
and-
back and find your ass.
No,
now. They
listen,
gonna know you. They
I
gonna
got
look you
a
on Comedy
job.
Central. They gonna
I got a
invoice you.
job. I got a job a month and a half later in at FYE, and
Look
my
at that.
job was to make sure that niggas didn't steal.
LP, yeah, you was in loss prevention.
Loss
You was in
prevention.
prevention.
And I was filling all the holes because I was like, yeah, I did this before. I know
Yeah, I
it's
know.
a spot right there that niggas can't see you, and the
Yeah.
camera moves this way. I was in that bitch.
I'm wicked,
So I was like, you know, I turned into Frank Lucas.
I'm dead. Okay, here let's get back to the comedy. I don't want to go too far off that. Let's get back to the so we going back to the story of when you first felt that you had it. When you first found out you had it.
So I'm doing a mic. Actually, you know what? It wasn't a mic when I felt like I had it. It took a minute, man. Like you know, when I first felt like I had it was recently. Shit, like
that's a thing though.
Actually, no. Check. When I shot my special myself, that's when I felt like, not I have it, but I feel like I know my material well enough to be able to deliver this in a way that it'll gain the response that I'm looking for. Exactly. But I don't think we never have it. You know?
Yeah. No, I know it. Yeah. And when I say have it, I think that's the wrong word. I think I should say
when you
felt comfortable. Yeah. When you knew this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay. Well, you talk very like Mufasa from The Lion King.
Yeah. We're getting deep.
Your destiny.
This is.
Listen, I honestly, I love what we do. Stand-up is definitely my baby, and now that I'm in it, I couldn't see myself doing anything else professionally right now. Like I definitely want to do other things in the industry, but I love stand-up, and I feel like it's always going to be kind of like the backbone of whatever now that I'm in it.
Exactly.
But the moments where I felt like I am really, like I'm moving in the direction that I'm supposed to.
Of your purpose?
Yeah. Where like the energies of the universe have really made me feel like, okay, this is the correct frequency.
Yeah.
Is when my back's up against the wall. So like, I opened for Chappelle in Minneapolis, Target Center Arena. I was not supposed to. Not supposed to, but it
was a humbug.
It was on the humble. I was in the back. I'm smoking a joint with Lunel. Well, the whole weekend. So Friday.
Speaking of joints.
Yeah. Do we need to do a product placement?
No, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I'll just put up a joint while you said smoking a joint.
Okay, word.
Yeah, Linnell. Smoking a joint with Linnell. I've messed you up.
It's okay. You didn't mess me up. I'm like, do we gotta pause and do a commercial, nigga? What's happening?
No, right? Yeah.
Walter's in the studio just grabbing random product and
doing a face
monologue into my live. These niggas don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know.
This is for the cameras.
It's for the video.
So we always look at the capacity of a place as a comedian as like a milestone, right? So I got the opportunity to tour with Patton Oswalt through my amazing management, right? So we were set to do State Theater in Minneapolis, the Fillmore in Detroit the same weekend. So that's Friday and Saturday. And I knew about this coming up, but probably that Wednesday before I left town, I seen Jeff Ross at the Comedy Store, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be in Minneapolis with Patton. He was like, oh, I'm going to be there with Dave the day after you leave. If you can come back, you can hang out with us. So I said, okay, cool.
Can't say no to that.
Yeah. So I did the 2 shows. I did Friday and Saturday. So I did 2,100 at State Theater, 2,100 people. And then I did 2,900 people at the Fillmore with Patton in Detroit.
And was that your...
And that was my height.
I was just going to ask you
like,
that. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I just did 2,000 people. And then
damn near 3.
Right. And
shout out to Patton.
Shout out to Patton. Of course. I love Pat. Another, a very good friend. And then I flew back to Minneapolis to hang out with Jeff and Dave. Like, all right, now I can hang out with these dudes and relax. I got paid. I got money in my pocket. I'm good, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good weekend.
I'm in the back smoking a joint with Lunel, and Jeff Ross comes around the corner. Hey, Pink, you want to open the show? I'm like, hell yeah, man, I want to open the show.
What you talking about right now?
What? It was at that time. It was still early in the show, so it was probably like 15,000 people, and you could just hear like you hear them audibly,
Oh my
God. Kramer's on stage. He's doing his thing. I think they capped out at 20,000 by the end of the night, but he's on stage mixing and cutting and shit. And the dude walks around like I'm in one of the green rooms. The guy, like the stagehand in all black with the headset, walks around the corner. He's, did she say yes? Okay, Pink, you're on in 2 minutes. What? I can't call anybody. I can't call my mom.
You can't do
manager.
We ain't setting up nothing.
I can't look at shit. I can't look at like my notes. This is like what it is right now.
If you ready, if you always ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Hey,
it's one of them situations. It sound like.
Fortunately, I just did them 2 nights. So it was fresh on my mind.
He was in the momentum.
Hell yeah. So
in the groove.
So I say yeah, and then all right, cool. So then they walk me around, and I did that LeBron James walk through the back of the arena. That shit was crazy. When they walking you up to I felt like Eddie Murphy, like. When Eddie Murphy, I think it was Eddie Murphy Raw, it was either Raw or Delirious when he's getting walked out and they're like trailing him through the. That's what it felt like. I was just like, damn, this is crazy. And the dude handed me the mic. I walked up them little 3 steps on the back of the stage. He goes, "Mic's hot." I looked at Jeff. Jeff goes, "You're ready." I said, "All right." I put the mic to my mouth, man. Minneapolis, what's up,
and then
motherfucker? And that was it, man. I went up there and I did what I could, you know.
How did you feel each moment, or was it a blur?
Oh, it was definitely like a blur. Like it was like I was there.
Yeah, of course. You was in the zone.
I was
but
there.
That's what I mean.
I wasn't there.
Like when you in the zone. Yeah, like when you in like what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's a word other than the zone, but when you're in that mode, it's kind of like everything is happening naturally. If that makes sense.
Well, you know, that's one of those times when you let the muscle memory do its thing.
Exactly.
And you try not to think about how many people are out there. And
did you look at one person or look at an area? You just have to look at one thing.
You got to completely disregard the big monitors that are like your face and shit.
Yeah.
Like 30-foot face on the side. You can't look at that shit. You gotta just, you gotta be in it. But I did my thing. I got up there, and more than anything, because of like the crazy controversy surrounding Chappelle with like saying trans jokes and the weird shit.
Exactly.
It was important to me to be able to get up there and kind of give my perspective to his audience.
Exactly.
And they really I got so many DMs that were just like, "You were so funny or hilarious. You gained a new fan." Like that night, my Instagram DMs was flooded, bro. So it was cool.
So you handled business.
Yeah, I know I handled business, and that's how I measure this shit.
Yeah,
I never get off stage and be like, "Yeah, I murdered that shit." I wait for people to hit my DMs.
Exactly.
And be like, "Oh my god, I had so much fun." I'm like, "All right, cool." You know where you are with your sets, but you know where you mess up. Like, oh shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway,
and people off stage don't know that either though, but. That's the craziest part is as long as you don't show it, nobody knows that you missed a step or didn't say a word or whatever.
Right.
And I think one of the best parts about that is as long as people left having a good time, I missed a word or I missed a phrase or I missed a tag, but I know I still delivered.
Yeah.
That's one of them things.
For sure. I think that that's when the crowd work comes in.
Yeah.
If you feel like, oh, there was a lapse in that one, let me just jump out to the crowd real quick and hey, what's your name, brother? Where you from? Type shit.
Yeah.
So it's but yeah, man, that was one of the moments when I was like, after that, and then Dave Chappelle had me an amazing Foxx, Big Foxx. He always says my name like that, but it's so funny. And Usher and Justin Bieber's on the show, right? So he's in the back. Usher, this was Pink's first arena. Usher Raven with the fucking glass.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations on your first arena. I'm like, what kind of fucking shit? What kind of TV shit is this?
Nigga?
Who the cameras out? It's Ashton Kutcher in the bush, nigga. What the fuck's happening?
A movie right now?
There's a nigga in the fern with a camera right now. No, but if it was like surreal and shit. So that was crazy. It was a crazy night. But yeah, that was one of the nights when I was
one that he was like,
oh, I'm a pro.
This one of the ones.
I'm a professional comedian.
Yeah.
This is the one. I need to stick with this because this is definitely I'm going places. So, we just keep high hopes and keep writing. Keep writing.
Speaking of keep writing, I was going to ask you, so from doing music to opening up for Dave and then everything that we've got going on now, which we're about to touch on, I don't want to skip past that before we go on. I want you to give words to any young comedians or any young person in the LGBTQ community that wants to express themselves. What words do you have for anybody like in that realm, in that space?
Oh man, everybody always talks about the term snowflake. They call people a snowflake.
Mm-hmm.
As a means to like belittle people. You're a snowflake. The thing about snowflakes is they're all unique. When you zoom in on a snowflake, you put a snowflake under a microscope.
It's like fingerprints.
You know what I mean?
None of them the same.
So I would say to my community, the LGBT community, and like young comedians, like lean on the things that truly make your perspective unique.
That's it right there.
And hone in on that, because people want to know how other people are feeling. I think a lot of the time with this reality, we kind of want someone to also be like, are you seeing this? Yeah, I'm seeing this shit too. That's nice, because then we like, you know what I mean? It's kind of There's probably some big word for it that I can't think of right now.
Don't even worry. We good. We on this, so you're good.
To have someone to associate with that's having your same reality, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really important. It's important to be able to give, because you never know who's out there that has the same perspective as you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I'm sure Joe Rogan didn't know that it was this many people that ate elk and wanted to bow and arrow and watch MMA fight. I mean, I'm sure he has a group of friends, but like all of the things that make him unique and weird, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like UFOs
put you in that community or that circle or like that.
He's just a guy. He's like, I want to know about this, so I'm going to read this book about it. And, you know, not to quote fucking Joe Rogan, but, you know, all due respect to anyone that can create a podcast that goes crazy like that. Yeah, so I think that's, you know, that's to be looked at. I think anyone that's had that kind of success, you should really look at and try to see, like, okay, this person did this. I wonder what I could do to kind of, you know, lend my perspective to a situation and just be good. I went to an open mic for the first time in forever, and
success leaves clues. I want to add that in there. You know, success leaves clues.
That's deep.
Yeah.
What do you want to elaborate on that?
I'm a big. So when I started doing comedy, I became a connoisseur. Like I didn't beforehand. Before I did comedy, I kind of knew about the bigs and the greats, but I didn't know a lot of the other research or a lot of the other contributions. And when I started to delve into it, when I fell in love, I learned that everybody that got to a certain level, they're individuals and they're unique, but it's a few set of traits or habits or things that they had about them that get you to a certain position. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, and it's stuff, and it's a lot of the cliche stuff, you know. But I think success leaves clues. So doing it every day, or doing something every day. If not every day, immersing yourself into whatever your passion is. So like, I know you do it, I do it. Eat, sleep, shit, comedy, you know. And when I say, obviously you have a regular life on the side, but what I mean is when you're invested, it's 100%.
I don't have a regular life on the side.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that,
I don't even know what that. I mean, I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm a superhero and I put this cape on. And
Exactly.
Like, I'm a comedian.
Exactly.
I see things in my day-to-day life that make me want to write things down. But like, this is what it is.
Exactly. And when I think I worded it wrong. And what I mean is, my life is based around this center. Is what I kind of mean. And everybody that gets to a certain position, it's few things that they leave or that they have done or that they can tell you that you can take, put it into your individuality and proceed with that information. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
And that's what I mean by that. So
we all look up to people.
Exactly.
And we notice their habits.
Exactly. So you and me can't do what Joe Rogan did to get to his position, but we could take some information he took, apply it to our situation, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And then get the benefits of it. You know, I might not be able to be Kevin Hart. I'm not from the East Coast. I didn't meet this people in this position. You
can't follow someone's footsteps.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
You can be similar, right?
That's what I mean. Exactly.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying
exactly.
with that one. I agree.
Yeah.
You can't mimic someone.
Yeah.
But you can definitely take a note from their book. It's comedians that we all look up to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look up to, you know, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox first and foremost.
Red Fox,
but
Pink
also,
Fox. Come on now.
Yeah, man. And also Rodney Dangerfield. You know,
that's a left
Lenny
field
Bruce.
one right there. I didn't know you fucked with Rodney like that.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
How can one not fuck with Rodney Dangerfield?
I didn't fuck with him till later. I know, that's what I'm saying. He one of the ones I didn't really fuck with till later. I had some type of way about the old school dudes. Not some type of way, excuse me. But I just until I became a connoisseur and like a student of the game, I was like, man, this nigga ain't talking about nothing. Or it didn't appeal to me.
Oh man, sounds like you need to see my doctor, man.
Yeah,
you know
it didn't appeal to me, man. It didn't appeal to me.
You know,
but I love him now. No.
Dr. Vinny Boom Bots, baby. Ready? There you go, Rodney Dangerfield. I was talking to my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boom Bots. You know my doctor. It's my guy.
That's that dude. Yes. But now I think he's a genius. I felt the same way with Seinfeld though. Like I've never watched the episode of Seinfeld.
Oh brother, I've watched I watched Seinfeld.
I watched a little Seinfeld stand up and it didn't
like people
hit
read the
to me.
Bible. I study it. And
Yeah.
it's like not that there's like
Yeah.
not
But
like
what
that.
I was
like,
saying was it didn't hit until I start studying it, is what I'm saying. Like
word, I feel what you're
Seinfeld.
saying.
Yeah.
Seinfeld
And people
is
like that.
such a crazy universe.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
When you get into it, you start to notice shit and like things with the characters,
really
and
deep.
it's like,
Yeah,
oh, bro,
it's
there's wikis,
it's
there's
deep and extra.
Seinfeld wikis, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a Seinfeld.
No,
fan.
he's a genius because he made a show about nothing and made it one of the top shows.
Oh, him and Larry David, man. Larry David.
Yeah.
And then Larry David turned around and did it again with Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Come on now.
He's a very
Legend.
He's such a smart
Yeah.
guy with that. And we have a friend in common. We have a couple friends in common, but my one friend, shout out to Abe Fairley, but
Abe.
he was telling me about like just being around Larry David and stuff because Abe's been on Curb, and
Okay.
my friend Frankie French has been on Curb. Shout out to Frankie. And they don't do scripts. They tell you like what the idea is.
I heard that. I
And then
kind of just learned that a month ago.
Yeah, and then
Month and a half.
it's like okay, it's like improv and shit. So I think that's really
They got
dope.
an improv TV show though.
That's so
like,
dope.
That shit is dope as
That's
fuck.
so
It's an
dope.
improv TV show.
So you know, respect. It's all of the respect is due to that whole team, man. That's really dope.
yeah.
But yeah, I hope I answered your question
No,
when
you
I
did.
actually
You
felt
did.
it.
No, you did. Don't even worry. So we did the Dave, and now we moved on to JFL. And real quick, do you feel like did you feel the momentum? I think I asked you this beforehand. You know, did you feel the momentum of one situation happening, and then did that lead into Comedy Central, or did that lead to the JFL from after Dave?
You mean what came first?
Yes, that's what I meant. My bad.
My management lent to everything.
Yeah. Of course, the management lent to.
the Chappelle thing just kind of happened because of my associations.
Of course.
But and even that kind of being in that circle like that, because I was around Chappelle when he was in Vegas at the MGM, which is why I'm in the closer. My photo's in the closer at the end.
Yep.
It's
At
me,
the
him,
end.
and Anderson .Paak. But so yeah, so the Dave thing happened first. Touring with Pat. I was touring with D-Ray Davis.
Okay. Yeah, we missed that part.
That was through my
bad.
own associations with D-Ray. So I was able to be like, yo, big bro, can I tour with you? He's like, nah, I don't really do it like that. But, you know, if you pull up on me, I could give you a set, whatever. So I went and did my D-Rays again. And then I asked him again. And then he was like, well, I'm at Ontario. You can come hang out or whatever. So I was like, all right. So I pulled up at Ontario. And I pulled up early enough and he gave me a set. You can open. All right, cool. I opened. I did my thing. Mm-hmm. Hey, great set. Come back tomorrow. All right, cool. Hey, stay for the next show. All right, cool. All right, stay for the next. We got 2 shows tomorrow.
So you showed up.
I showed up and
did the work,
right?
And then it paid off, and then it snowballed.
And that's where my opportunity came from with D-Ray. But I knew that I was going to be touring with Patton Oswalt because I had those dates already.
Exactly.
So I wanted to get sharp because my management had hooked me up with that.
Yeah.
So I had been working, and then I was able to go in between like that, like the next 2 weeks or the next week, and go open for Pat and be sharp.
Man.
So it's like just doing a bunch of homework. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then I was touring with D-Ray and Patton simultaneously. So me and D and Morgan J, shout out to Morgan J, would go do like, we did like 11 sold out shows at the DC Improv. We do like 6 sold out shows.
God damn.
Most of the time. Like
shout out D-Ray, by the way, too, man. That's Chicago. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Shout out D-Ray Davis.
But
dude.
but it's really cool. It's cool how, you know, certain comedians see other young, hungry comedians
and give opportunities
when they see that there's potential. And for that, I'm super grateful because, you know, I've had that happen for me and continuously. I'm not in a place where I'm like, you know, I'm just now getting these opportunities like that, which is really cool. And I'm still new.
I feel like the major part about that is you put yourself in the right position. Because I feel like a lot of people, at least younger, you know, whatever, they're like, why is this happening to this person and not me?
I don't know if I put myself in that position, man.
Well, when I say, I mean, if you got to think about it, you control your body. You know what I'm saying?
I made the decisions to go after and that's be in these different areas, but I would like to give all.
You got to give credit, yeah.
I got to give the credit to different friends that have been like, hey, let's go to this place and you can meet this person if we go here. And,
of course,
you know, maybe you could do a little networking and the universe, man, for allowing me to move on that frequency because it's easy to be in the same room as a motherfucker. It was not easy is to be able to talk to someone on that level and really have them hear you.
And that's what I was gonna say. Because at the end of the day, none of us get into any level of success in anything without other people.
Yeah.
But you still have to show up. You still have to show up yourself, and that's what I meant. Like you know, because of the type of person you are, you were able to network like that. You were able to have those conversations. You were able to have that communication with those, and also you put in the work previous in stand up. You did the writing, you did the stage time. You know what I'm saying? Not
still doing.
Yeah, exactly. What I mean is it all built up to the opportunity, and then you cashed in on it. Right. Is what I'm saying. And I think a lot of people don't. They look at the outcome, and they don't look at like they say every overnight success is 10 years in the making. Is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the everything that built up to the positions or to the opportunities to put you in position to take the most out of the opportunities is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, and I think that's dope. Yeah. And I think that's dope.
Man. I think
that's super dope.
I just remain grateful and appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
And I never, I never expect. I don't expect. I let it happen. If somebody tells me something's going to happen, I let it happen. And I just keep the most positive thought I could keep about things working out. And I still feel crazy butterflies before I go on stage. And there's always what if this shit don't go right attitude,
Exactly. You're still a human. Like, don't let it fool you.
I'm not like sometimes people see you and they'll project their own insecurities on you and shit like that. Like, how dare this transgender come in here? And the only reason you're popping is because you're trans. It's like,
can I ask you how you feel about that?
I'm swaggy, nigga. Stop it.
I'm your nigga too, and I've heard that. And I'm like, and it's crazy because I got to be like, you don't even know the other shit. You know what I'm saying? And even if so, like, you still gotta be good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at what you do.
Hey, you can't just throw a label on your back and think niggas are supposed to give you shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, and the thing too, like people like, oh, so you moved to LA for comedy? No, I moved to LA for healthcare. I moved to LA for better access to healthcare because I'm transgender. That's solely it. And honestly, I wasn't even supposed to be in LA. I moved to California for that. I ended up in LA off happenstance, and I decided to continue to try to do stand up, like
exactly
for therapy. Like, hey, let me see how this shit makes me feel. So, going back to something a second ago, you asked me like 30 minutes ago, I don't even know, but I was doing a mic in LA, and Brian Moses was in the audience. My good friend, he's the host of Roast Battle, and
shout out Brian Moses. That's that dude.
I love Brian,
me too.
And so.
He the reason I did Roast Battle sometimes.
Right, bro. Yeah. He's always looking out for people. So he's seen me, and he goes, I was like, yo, what's up? Like, whatever. We chopped it up. Bottom line, he's like, come by my room. I do a show I do a show, whatever. He never said Comedy Store.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, cool. He might have said Comedy Store after that. I don't remember, but he didn't make it. It wasn't
a big deal.
No, bro. He was it was on the humble.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to do another show. They booked too many people. So I was like, all right. And then I hit him. I was like, yo, is it still cool to pull up? He's like, yeah, pull up. Bro, I pulled up to the Comedy Store. It was Roast Battle when they used to let comedians go up in the front. Well, they still do it now, but they stopped for a minute. But it used to be like 15. Like it was a pre-show.
Yeah, it was like
this shit was sold out. It was sold out.
Yeah.
Standing room. Yeah. And he was like, all right, you're after such and such. That was my first time doing stand-up at the Comedy Store, period.
For the people that don't know, the Comedy Store is the most famous club in the world.
The world famous comedy store.
I had to give a prerequisite.
Yeah, world famous. You can look it up, man. But anybody who's everybody that's coming through.
It's there.
Yeah, man.
And they're on the wall.
Yeah, you go to the Comedy Store, or you go to the Improv. The Improv is that other
Improv
one
too. Yeah.
The Laugh Factory. Shout out to Laugh Factory. Yep. I do shows at all three.
Shout out to Factory too. I produce my shows at the Laugh Factory in San Diego. So shout out to them. Yeah.
I got a check for one of those. So thank you for that.
Come on now.
I didn't expect it. But no bullshit. So it's just really dope to be in this ecosystem, man. And honestly, I think that we're in a place right now in history where we're looking for perspectives. We're trying to hear what other people are thinking. I don't think we should be shutting down points of view, but also there's a difference between having a point of view and hate speech.
Exactly.
You can't get on stage and call me a nigga and think I'm supposed to laugh because you're joking, quote unquote.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
not. You know what I mean? But
There's levels to it.
Right. But if you say it in a funny way, you know what I mean? Let me hear it.
Yeah.
What do you have? You know?
Yeah, I think I heard somebody say it's an unspoken rule in comedy. Like you can say damn near anything you want to, but it better be funny.
It better be funny.
Yeah.
But to touch back on that shit, like you said, how do I feel when people say like, oh, it's because you're trans?
Exactly.
I think that I've
done
done enough shows now with like real motherfuckers watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know.
You paid your dues.
It's not that I'm still paying dues,
Yeah,
but like I've done enough shows. Like when I did JFL, that was crazy. That's an audition process, but I gotta pick you.
Yeah, no, of course.
You know what I mean? So like I did 2 of those at the thing, and then I made it, and then and JFL, like to be a new face on JFL is like prestigious in comedy.
That's the level. No, that's
everybody doesn't get that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so like and you're introduced to like the world through this set.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like literally you do a big ass theater in Montreal.
Yes.
And everybody in the audience is a rep, some type of rep. It could be like CBS.
And real quick, if everybody doesn't know, JFL is Just for Laughs, which is the largest comedy festival in the world, which is in Montreal, Canada.
It's crazy. They got one in Toronto and Vancouver. But anyway, I think, that kind of shows you. And you can look at my shit. Like, now I have, like, actual sets out on Comedy Central and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the feedback, like, people get shitty in the comments always because I'm trans and I'm black. So I'm expecting somebody to call me
that's part of
fucking tranny or whatever. But the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive.
Exactly.
So I'm not really paying attention to any of that other stupid shit.
Yeah. So you know you're doing the right thing or going the right direction. Let me say it like that.
Yeah. They'd be like, don't read the comments. I'm like, it's hard not to read the comments.
I was going to ask that. I know that's the thing. Last but not least, well, first, I want to tell you I really appreciate.
Oh, this is mine, right?
Yep. Yeah. You come. Why you grabbing like a card, like a
making
like
sure.
a poker table?
Making sure. Nigga, I win. These are my chips. I'll be going home with.
Oh, I appreciate you coming on here though.
Thank you for having me.
I commend you on the hustle, on the not saying you're trailblazing, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's commendable, you know, and it's not easy. And I know from somebody that's doing stand up, it's not easy just being in entertainment or being a comedian, let alone labels that people put on you. So I respect you, I love you, and I appreciate you for doing this podcast.
Thank you, bro. I love you.
Any last words for anybody?
We're still on the up climb. Yeah. Things are looking up. I'm starting to headline, so that's cool. I really hope that, you know, I'm in a place where I feel comfortable enough to headline in your city. Mm-hmm. Not Gary, but all the other cities. I'm just kidding. No, Camden, but like I really do, because you know it's always it's safety first. But also I want to go to where the people are going to receive me in all forms. You know, I've been to Texas, I've done the South, and they seem to love my shit. When I get on stage, it's always a lot of hugs and photos at the end of the show. So, you know, shout out to D-Ray for that, for really getting me out of my comfort zone. Not that I was uncomfortable in like urban rooms, but I was nervous, man. I'm LGBT. It's widely known that it's difficult to operate when you're like me in those areas, and I did my thing, so I appreciate that.
Let alone that, and you black too. Yeah, we in the South. Yeah. Come on now.
So, look out for my stuff. Please go watch my Comedy Central content. I did Tales from the Trip. I got a set out on Comedy Central. JFL just released my set a few days back on YouTube. You can look me up. Follow me on Instagram at Comedian Pink Fox. Follow me at TikTok, on TikTok at the same thing, at Comedian Pink Fox, 2 X's. I don't get on Twitter too much, but we'll see what happens with that. And I love y'all, and this has been dope, and I have a lot of fun, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm glad I'm able to express myself in these ways. And the glasses are because I smoked, not because I think I'm famous. Oh, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all too, and I hope that I continue to receive the support from y'all, and that allows me to be able to travel and do this thing I love so much. Thank you.
Shout out to that. Thank you again. Shout out to all the listeners. Make sure you follow Hilariously Blunt on all streaming platforms. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Shout out to March and Ash.
We got to get you on Apple Music.
Yes, we on Apple Music. Got to get me on Apple Music. Shout out to March and Ash again. This is the Hilariously Blunt podcast with Walter Ford, sponsored by March and Ash. We'll see y'all soon. Stay high, stay blessed, stay in tune. Woo!
This episode was produced by Ola's Media Podcast Network in San Diego, California. Jessica Garcia as project manager, JC Polk as executive producer, Lina Alvarez as associate producer, and Chad Pease as president and co-founder.
Thank you for listening to Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford, presented by March and Ash. For more, visit us online at olasmedia.com, and don't forget to subscribe where you download your favorite podcasts. In case you suffer from short-term memory loss, let me repeat that for you. Visit Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford online at olasmedia.com, and after you subscribe, puff, puff, pass it along to a friend. Okay, I'll stop. Olas Media.
What's going on, everybody? It's Walter Ford with March and Ash, and I'm here to talk to y'all about one of my favorite new products. We're talking about that full spectrum new sauce cartridge by ABX. When I tell y'all this Clementine that get me right every day, every night, every evening, you can taste every single terp. Just the true flower to terp taste is just immaculate. You can find this at any March and Ash location. I see y'all over.